Meditations live stream radio network. We are broadcasting to you through Be Live TV and out into Facebook land. So welcome to the show. Tonight's show, as always, is about healing yourself. As light workers, we take a lot of time doing healing work for others, and we need to recharge our own batteries. At this point, in this energy, in this time, this is crucial that we are taking care of ourselves, because many of us are behind the scenes healing the healers so that they can do the jobs that they are meant to do for the planet. So by coming here and doing the healing meditation tonight, you're helping clear your energy system, boost your immune system, and really getting to a place where you're connecting to your higher self, your higher guidance, and what that means for you. So welcome to the show. And help us get the word out there in Facebook land by liking and sharing this post, so that maybe somebody out there who could use a little calming energy, a little healing work, or maybe just a moment of being seen and heard, share it out there into your news feed and send it by messenger to somebody who you know who might be in need. After the meditation, I always do a live card draw. And tonight's deck is the Art of Love Tarot deck. It's by Denise Jarvie and Tony Carmen Salerno. It's very similar to the original tarot deck, but it's got its own flavor. It's got a lot of divine feminine love and energy in there. And I find that at this moment in time, it's what helps calm the fear the most, because there's a lot of fear and a lot of panic out there on the planet. And so how do we ground and center ourselves? Sometimes we just need a little note of encouragement, some words of wisdom on how to manage our life for the next week. And that's what my job is. That's why I'm here. So if you would like a card drawn later, please just type in yes, please. And I'll make sure to draw them in the order that we receive them here in the production studio. And a big shout out to Cooper for being here and helping me through this, being my co-pilot. Actually, he's probably the pilot. I'm probably the co-pilot. He's flying the plane for me so that I can do the work that I'm meant to do. So we are going to give you people a little bit of chance to get here. And, so because we want to make sure that everybody who needs healing is here with us. And so, hi, Andrew. Glad to have you in the house. Nice to have you in Facebook land and living much closer to you. So when this quarantine stuff's done, we'll have to visit. Lynn, hi. I'm glad to see you're here. Nice to have you with us. And Carol, like I said, just get this out there and share it as you are able, because it helps us reach a lot of people. And if you missed the shows earlier today, we had the Spiritual Roundtable with Neshi Lokatz. She did her show earlier, which was fantastic. I just saw a smidge of it, and I'm going to watch it on the replay after my show. And Minnie Kansman, who comes here quite often, she did her nature adventures. And again, it's another one I can't wait to see after this. Sometimes we get so busy in our own work. I watch the replays after to see them. So let's see who else is here. April, hi, nice to have you. And Kate, Neshi's in the house. I'm sure she's liking and sharing the broadcast. So I appreciate that. And Marie, nice to have you, sweetie. So yeah, tonight's meditation, I think, is really key, because we really need to center and ground and get all the panic and fear and stuff from other people kind of off of us, so we can feel like ourselves again, even though things around us may feel a little unsteady. And I see Teresa's here and Minnie and Robin. Nice to have you guys. Thanks for joining us. And I also wanted to remind you that, Star Nations has started, Neshi has started lovingly doing a morning meditation. Tends to be around 11:30 or so. East Coast time. You can always post that, Neshi, so we know exactly when you're doing it. I think it changes a little bit in time frame, but it's just a morning gathering where we can come together and get grounded. So if you feel like you need that at any point in time, just check out the Star Nations page for the daily grounding, and you can tap into that whenever you feel like you need it, because sometimes that helps us get through the difficult stuff. And I have an upcoming class, an online class coming up in April, where it's talking about manifesting, multidimensional manifesting, and using your inner child. Because the way my team talks to me about manifesting and the way it works for me is that when I pull in my inner child and let go with that magic wand of hers, the magic really starts to happen. And so, if you are interested in that, feel free to look at the Star Nations Academy page. It's all part of the deep dive into manifesting that the Star Nations hosts, a number of the hosts are doing together. So with that, you guys, let's start our grounding and our meditation, because I'd like to get the healing in before the messages. So take a couple of deep breaths. And with each breath, just really focus on your physical body. Feel your bones and your muscles. And do your best to bring your attention to the present moment. And sometimes you can do that by focusing on your heartbeat or on your breath as it goes in and out. We're going to begin by calling in the divine energy, however you perceive that, to connect to us and through us for this healing, for this meditation, and for the messages to be delivered this evening. Setting the intention that all the healing work is for the good of all and harm to none, including ourselves. And I'm inviting the divine energy to surround and protect us in a bubble of infinite love and infinite light, creating sacred space for our healing work to be done this evening, giving you a sacred container to feel safe, surrounded, and protected. And I'm going to encourage a second bubble to fill and surround the entire room or the space that you are in. Creating a secondary shelter, fortifying the energy. And welcoming in our spiritual teams, our angels, our guides, our ancestors, the star beings, our animals, the gods and the goddesses, all divine of the highest, fullest, and brightest vibration, frequency available to us. And we welcome them all in, not simply the ones we know about or have connected with, but all those who can help and serve us for our highest best in this moment. Just beginning with grounding our heart, feeling the heart as fully as possible, sensing the vibrant green and pink that emanates from the heart space, and creating a beautiful cord of connection to ground our energy to the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And seeing that green and pink cord as it comes from our heart to our solar plexus, that beautiful yellow orb below our rib cage, connecting, grounding, centering. And again, that green and pink cord connecting down to our sacral chakra below the belly button, that beautiful orb of orange, connecting, grounding, and centering. And that pink and green cord connecting to our root chakra just below our tailbone. The beautiful red orb, grounding, connecting, and centering. And inviting the pink and green cord to go down each leg, the right and the left, passing down our thighs and our knees, our calves, our ankles, and our feet, to go out the chakras in our feet, to connect deep within the earth, through the floor, through the foundation, past rocks and stones and crystals, dinosaur bones and ancient civilizations, miles and miles to the very center of the earth, the molten lava center, and the heartbeat of Grandmother Earth and the Divine Feminine herself. And inviting our cords to connect to and through her heart, so that our hearts are held together in union as one. And inviting the cords to expand to the size of a cylinder, a tube. You may sense it being created or expanded in crystal. And inviting the divine feminine energy to flow up to our heart, grounding us in that nurturing, healing energy. And connecting our heart to the divine masculine above, envisioning the cord of green and pink connecting to our throat, the beautiful blue orb, grounding, connecting, and centering. And the green and pink cord of connection gathering in our third eye, in the middle of our forehead, to that purplish chakra, grounding, centering, and connecting. Making certain that the fullness of this chakra is in the present moment and not stretched into the past or the future through worry or anxiety. Gathering it together with each breath. And the pink and green cord connecting, grounding, and centering with our crown chakra above our head, the golden white orb that connects us most fully to our highest self and the divine, and stretching that cord of connection, that pink and green cord, to go all the way to the center of creation itself, past galaxies and stars, planets and nebulas, to that quiet place where it all began, including ourselves. And asking that cord of connection to stretch into a tube or a cylinder. You may sense it being realigned in crystal, allowing the divine energy to flow even more fully to us and through us, gathering in our heart space with the divine feminine, putting a beautiful bubble of protection around our inner child, held in the sacred space of the tiny heart, the transcendental heart, the high heart. And beginning at the crown at the top of the head, releasing any doubt that you are carrying, any difficulty you have in trusting yourself and those around you, but the divine most of all. And moving into the third eye and clearing and releasing. Any energy that is making it difficulty for clarity, for clear perception. For your intuition to work fully and completely with all of your senses. Allowing that inner knowing to come into balance and harmony with the logic brain and the intuitive brain. Understanding balance is the key. and opening all the pathways of communication with our spiritual teams through all of our senses, through all aspects of our body, through symbols and signals. In more ways than we have imagined. And clearing the energy in the throat to make room for true communication, needs and wants to be expressed fully. Releasing all the tension and the stress being carried at the back of the neck. All the words that have gone unspoken, all the words that have been spoken in anger, in frustration, in hatred, to you, from you, or around you, that you may be holding on to. And releasing the stress and tension from your shoulders, the weight that you've been carrying, all the responsibilities, the burdens, the obligations. And allowing them to slide off for this moment. So you can connect to your fullest self. Making room in your heart and in your lungs. For compassion and empathy. Releasing any grief that you are experiencing. Sadness for others or yourself. Disappointment. And any other energy that has collapsed. The love energy from emanating out from you and gathering and being sent to you. Fully supported in your relationships, and in simply being who you are. And moving into the third chakra, and gently releasing any overwhelm that you've been feeling, any anxiety or panic, whether you've experienced it or just been near others experiencing it. Any energy that you've picked up from others, through the media, through technology, through contact, through simply driving on the road where others experienced things driving in the same place. Releasing the jittery feelings of insecurity, welcoming in calm and serenity, even if just for this moment. And gently dissipating the righteous anger that may have flared up recently or continues to flare up. And allowing your kidneys space to function and to breathe without the anger squeezing so tightly. And moving into the second chakra and clearing away any miscommunication that you've been having, any frustration at all the changes, and any energy that's been triggered in addiction through food, through technology, through alcohol or drugs. And just honoring the coping mechanism for what it has been, restoring it to balance. And moving down into the root chakra, releasing any additional fear that you may be carrying. Fear about your health, your family, your job, your finances. Honoring the root chakra as it realigns in this new paradigm. Shifting its color to be more vibrant, more connected, more steady for you to gather a footing on. And allowing any energy that has been released to gently slide down your tube into Grandmother Earth, into the molten lava center, to be transformed and transmuted into beautiful new creation energy once more. And inviting the divine feminine energy to fill our energy, our body, our emotions, our mental thoughts, and our spirituality through all of our energy centers, through all the layers of our aura, shielding, protecting, and boosting our immune system in each and every layer. And taking a moment of gratitude with our spiritual teams for guiding us here tonight, for this healing, for this centering, and for the messages that will be delivered in a few moments. For those who would like some guidance, or ready to ask or ready to hear. And slowly begin to bring your attention and your awareness back to your physical body, back to this moment. Right here and right now. And welcome back, guys. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Do whatever you need to do to ground. All right. So tonight's deck is the Art of Love Tarot deck. And this is Tony Carmen Salerno and Denise Jarvie. And this deck, carries a lot of the divine feminine energy. So she wanted to come out tonight to help guide us and lead us. So if you would like a card, just type in yes, please, and I will call them in the order that they show up in our production studio, which may be different than your news feed. And for those of you who are new to the show, don't worry, I pull cards for everyone. Or that's been the rule so far. We'll see how many people show up and whether that's still feasible or not, but we're going to give it a go. All right, so let's start with Rob. So Rob, your card is the Ace of Angels. And the Ace of Angels is all about wisdom. And so aces to me are gifts from the divine. It's something that's being handed to you at this moment. And so you're being gifted with wisdom. And when I see that card, it often means that you have moments of clarity, of inner knowing that are going to be happening in this next week. A lot of ahas, and questions that you've had and been searching for the answers. People will say the answer to you, or the book you need to read will just appear. It's a very magical energy of how the wisdom comes in. And sometimes we're tapping into our own wisdom as well that we've forgotten that we had. But what I'm seeing is a bunch of presents being handed to you, and each one is a nugget of information that you've been seeking. And remember, the more you say thank you for the gifts, the more gifts you'll receive. How's that? All right. Andrew. So Andrew, this is one of the soul cards. So this isn't just for this week. So this is the Emperor card in this deck. And so the Emperor card is the Father card, which makes sense, right? So right now your soul's lesson is about embodying the Father energy for yourself, for your family, really for the entire planet. And how do you do Father? The role of Father is shifting with the divine feminine presence. We are looking for men to be sensitive and caring and thoughtful, to be as interested and in their children's welfare as the mothers are. And as men can embrace their divine feminine energy in this, then they can hold the Father energy that Christ was talking about, which was not a judgmental God, but a one filled with unconditional love and acceptance, and that there was no difference. And so when you hold the Emperor and the Father in this particular way with this particular deck, it's being a ruler, a male ruler with a kind heart. So that's part of your soul's journey right at this moment, and it's going to last for a little while. As you grow into it, as you step into it, and as you embrace it in its light. And notice the times when you want to turn into the judgmental father and take a deep breath and look for ways to access your unconditional love as you do that. Nice. All right. Lynn, yours is thank you for sharing. Yours is a soul card as well, too, my dear. Yours is the teacher. Nice. So the teacher card is all about your soul's lesson right now for a little while is all about you finding clarity. And how do you do that? You do that by seeking the teachers you need, the mentors you need to help you with the information that the pieces that you may be missing. But then you also turn around and become the teacher for those who need you as their mentor. The energy that I keep hearing is that to step into the role of teacher, you only need to know more than your students on a particular subject. You know enough to guide them. You know enough to lead them. And we all have our areas of wisdom and expertise. And right now, as things are unsteady, the teachers and the leaders are being called in to step up and with clarity, create calm. It's the uncertainty and the chaos that makes it difficult for people to move forward. And you can teach others how to hold that by being very clear and concise and decisive as you are teaching and showing the way, and for looking for those qualities in people to mentor and teach you as well. Because a lot of people are outgrowing their teachers at the moment because we are shifting so rapidly that sometimes we need to lean in a new direction. Does that make sense? So be on the lookout for a new teacher and opportunities for you to step in and teach as well. Thank you. Carol. So your card is the King of Stars. And the King of Stars is, he's very much an alchemist. So you're being called to step into that role of how do you become the alchemist? How do you change and transform some things that are going on around you and in your life? We're all being called to stir the pot a little bit, right? And maybe come up with some new recipes. And that involves changing our routines, our habits, our work. Everything is getting shifted. And we can go into victim around that, or we can become the magician. And you're a magician, my dear. So reach into the Mary Poppins bag, your bag of magic tricks, and see how you can shift the energy. And what I keep seeing is whenever somebody goes into fear, even if it's you, or anxiety or worry, things that aren't aligned with love, how do you bring love and laughter and joy in to replace that? And you know how to do it. So get to it. All right, April. Your card is the Knight of Stars. Notice that the star is on his high heart, which is in between the throat and the heart. So the Knight of Stars is an adventurer. And so knights right now in this energy that we're having, there are people who are willing to take chances, not in a harmful way, but they're like willing to try things in a different way because the old way isn't working. So there's a little bit of a leap of faith well, we might as well try it. But doing it from a place of, cool, let's try this, rather than, oh God, we can't do it the old way. What do we do? I guess we'll try this. So there's being in that worry and panic and fear and reaction, or taking action. And knights have no fear. They just act. And the Knight of Stars really taps into his high heart, which is you're calling in your higher self and that really strong unconditional love that comes from that pure divine center that we all have, that really pink fuchsia color. And think of that as what's guiding you. Your heart is leading you, but it's the highest heart you can access. And I'm seeing, maybe even wear some of that pink, if it's in a scarf or whatnot, to remind you to connect to that as you're moving through the energy this week. All right. Kate, hope you had a beautiful birthday. Excited for you. So your card is the Queen of Angels. Look at her. So the energy for you this week is to tap into your visionary. So this is saying, okay, you have these great ideas. You have this fantastic intuition. You are somebody who can create the vision of the future. Are you doing it? And if not, why not? Right? Because you have this manifestation ability to envision what you want. We talked about this recently. So envisioning what you want and visioning into reality. So it's remembering that you are a visionary. We all are visionaries. And when we get really clear and really concise on that vision, we create that as our reality. So make sure that you're focusing on the visions that you want to create. And we talked about a whole bunch of those that you can do. And I'm seeing a lot of happiness attached to that. So go for it. All right. Marie. Just moving up my little speed here. Oh, nice. So your soul card is the Wheel. And this card in this deck is all about the breakthrough. Your soul is breaking through. It's breaking out of the old patterns, out of the old habits, out of the old you. And you're breaking through into a new version of you. And with that, I always see this opportunity to spin the wheel of fortune, except there's no bankrupt spaces on it. And everything on it is a prize that you want. So through the breakthrough, you get these opportunities to create some wonderful new things on top of that. Your soul's journey through the breakthrough is really about whether you feel you deserve the good things that are coming. Sometimes we worry that it's too good to be true, but in this energy, how good can you stand it? And just keep saying thank you, because this can be I'm seeing like this can be a domino effect for you. It can impact every aspect of your life, your relationships, all of it. So go for it. All right, let's see. Teresa, nice to have you here. So your card is the 3 of Stars. I love this one because it looks like fireworks in this one. And so this one is all about visions. And so in this next week, I don't know whether it's going to be like daydream kind of visions for you, or whether you're going to have them in sleep time, or as aha moments, but you're going to see a lot of solutions to questions that you've been asking. So the answers you've been seeking will appear. And so I'm seeing it as seeing, like literal vision seeing. So it's almost like you'll get a flash and you're like, ooh, that's how we do that. And so be on the lookout for that. Don't dismiss it. Don't get caught in the need to prove it to anyone else. It's kind of a test on whether you trust yourself and your intuition enough to follow those visions, because it's almost like they're laying down these bricks that will turn into the yellow brick road. But, it's okay if you miss a few, you'll notice the pattern and be able to follow it. But the more of them that you trust, the easier the road will be paved for you to go to your golden future. That's very cool. Love when interesting things come out. All right, Minnie. All right, yours is a soul card as well, my dear. Yours is the acceptance card. Now, different people have different philosophies around acceptance. This card is all about being in that place of your soul's lesson right now is how to be okay with everything. Accepting that this is how things are right now and there's nothing we can do to change it. That's when we can bring harmony in. It's not self-defeat. It's not giving up. It's just being okay with even being not okay. It's like, all right, this is where I'm at today. Sometimes, I'm a hot mess, and sometimes I'm this powerhouse, and I'm everything in between. And that's okay. It's all helping you balance and all helping you recreate your own personal rhythm and your own personal harmony. You are so connected to the earth plane that you take her energy almost personally. So you're so in tune with it that you feel it all. And that can be frustrating, but being able to lean in and accept that, you have your heartbeat is connected to her heartbeat, and what she knows, and you feel what she feels. And if she's going through chaotic energy, so are you sometimes, but that doesn't mean it's bad, good or bad. So getting into that place of harmony, and make sure that you're doing way more self-care than normal is the other thing I'm hearing. Because you need a lot of time in nature. Make sure you're getting it, because that really will help you. This isolation thing can be really difficult for people, but there are ways for you to still get your nature time, even if it's just sitting on your deck and soaking in the sun and have your fingers in potting soil, getting ready for the next plants that want to be birthed in your house. Okay? All right, my dear. Robin. All right, your card, my dear, is the sun. Notice that there's the sun's reflected. We basically see multiple suns because of that. So the sun energy in this deck is really connected to our root chakra. It's our vitality. It's how we shine our light. And again, this is one of our soul cards. And so as a soul card, this is your lesson for the next little bit. It's not just for this week. And in this place, you are really learning how to shine your own light. And also how to maintain your own health and well-being. And, we lots of times think we know it all when it comes to that. And then Mother Nature goes, try this. So what are you doing to keep your energy and your immune system boosted and shine, so you can shine your light in the way that you do? Because some of us who are leaders, we're in this call to action kind of energy. And so it's really easy to get run down and depleted. And that's when our immune system tanks. And then we can't be of service because we end up getting sick. And that's not what you are creating. So how are you taking care of you so that you can take care of all the others that you are taking care of? And some of that may be telling people, I know I said I was going to do that, but right now that's just not possible. And I'm sorry. So think about that as well. Okay, sweetie? All right. Dinah, nice to see you. So your card is the Four of Stars. So the Four of Stars in this deck is often about advancement. It can be like a promotion. What I'm feeling for you is you're starting to get recognized for who you are and what you do. Like people took you for granted before and now are like, oh my gosh, how did we get along without you? And so you're getting that boost of other people saying and appreciating you for who you are. It's like there's like this homecoming of, you're coming home as a hero. And other people are, throwing flowers at you. And, don't underestimate yourself either. Give yourself a pat on the back. It's not you're not bragging. You're allowed to be proud of your achievements and what you've done. And what you are doing right now may not even seem like you should be bragging, but you are doing this amazing job, and other people are starting to realize that they really could not get along without you. So take the gold star that the universe is sending you right now, and allow yourself to hold on to that and let it shine. All right, Mary. Of course. Welcome to the show. Your card is the Nine of Stars. I just got a lot of tears here. But this card is the Perseverance card. This is, you have been through the ringer, and a lot of people are going through the ringer right now, and yet you still are persevering. You are going strong. You are leading by example. And, sometimes I'm sure it feels like things are too much. I can't handle one more thing. But you are a survivor, and you are really being applauded by your spiritual team for all that you are doing as well. And, and if there are tears that need to flow, let them flow. They are a release valve for all the stress that you've been carrying. It's not a sign of weakness. It's just that there's energy that's clearing that needs releasing. And this is true for all of us. If it needs to be in the form of tears, let it be in the form of tears. If it needs to be in the form of laughter, let it be laughter. It could be screaming. It could be jumping. Whatever it is, there's energy that might need some moving. But what I'm seeing for you is it's okay to cry. And it's okay to let yourself have those feelings, because you are doing it. You are making it through, and let go the worry. Because you've got this, and your team is so proud of you. for all that you've been through and all you continue to do for others, even though you've been through so much. So thank you for that. All right, Janet, welcome. Nice to have you. So yours is the Queen of Hearts. And the Queen of Hearts in this one is, the Queen is she's the feminine leader of the kingdom. But she leads by her intuition. She leads by her gut feeling. She leads with her heart. And she leads in a very feminine leader way, which is she cares about the other people around her. And she thinks of them as she's leading. It's not all or nothing, and it's not all about her. It's really about letting her intuition guide her, even if it doesn't make logical sense. Because sometimes our logic brain can only tell us what it already knows. And our intuition can show us things we've never imagined. So try to tap into that a little bit more this week. I know you're really good at pulling cards and using the cards to help you enhance your intuition. Don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to bring a crystal along to help with your intuition. The amethyst often helps people's intuition expand and spark in the moment. Don't be afraid to use those tools that you have. You don't have to go without them. That also softens who we are when we are leading, is when we use the tools that we know will help us. We don't have to be tough and do it the hard way. Grab your bag of tricks and bring them with you. Your oils, your crystals, your cards, whatever you need. Pack it in your bag and bring it with you. Bring your pendulum. Check it out. See how things are going. It's good for all of us. Tap into that intuitive place, because sometimes the logic brain freaks out, especially right now. All right, sweetie. Anne. Nice soul card for you. This is the Awakening card. There's a lot of Egyptian energy in this card and a lot of emotional waters. So in the Awakening card, it's, if you can imagine you were the one underwater and you're beginning to surface and walk out of the water. The real Anne is beginning to emerge. There's a rebirthing process that's going on for your soul right now, which is true for so many people. But in this, you're awakening more of your gifts, more of your inner knowing, more of your self-esteem and self-confidence. It's like you are stepping into this fuller version of you. And in those moments where you feel overwhelmed, where, almost like that water is all still over your head, remember that you know how to breathe underwater. You know how to navigate your emotions better than a lot of people. and let yourself wade through the water, because it's not going to drown you. It's going to teach you how to more fully swim these waters of change. Because we can all fight the tide, or we can just sort of lean in and go with the waves where they're going to take us. And that's a lot easier and a lot less resistance, right? And you'll actually get farther if you can lean into that. All right. Let's see. Ellen, you are next. Hi, dear. So your card is the Retreat card. And so the Retreat card is your soul. This is a soul card again. It's inviting your soul to retreat. Not bad when we're doing all this isolating, right? But in that place, it's saying, okay, don't just isolate. You're meant to be contemplating. looking at what the gifts are in your life. Look at the things in your life that you love and the things that you want to change. Maybe make a list of all your obligations and see if you actually really want to do all of those things and whether they actually serve you. And if they don't be afraid to say, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that. I know I said I would, but you know what? Times are changing and I'm not going to waste my time on that. Don't be afraid of that. But this is really meant to be a quiet time for you. Not mulling about the past. I want to make that clear. Not, pulling out the old photos and the memory books and like rehashing and dredging up old grief. That's not what contemplation is about. Contemplation is about what's my spiritual purpose? What's my spiritual mission? And how can I line up with that in a fuller, brighter way right now? And this is about using automatic writing and asking questions of your team and listening for the answers, and looking for signals and signs and finding out what they mean to you. But it's about you expanding your connection to the divine. So it's you in communion. Does that make sense? You're sitting down and having a deep, deep conversation one-on-one with your team and with the divine, however that works for you. And that will help your soul figure out how it wants to grow and change through all of this energy right now. Okay? Nice having you, sweetie. Kimberly, hello, my dear. So your card is the Two of Trees. Again, quite a bit of ancient symbols here with the Eye of Horus and the Ankh and everything. And Ra. So the Two of Trees is, trees people think of as being like very stiff, because they're very grounded, but they think of them as being stiff. And yet they move almost constantly, right? And so trees actually have way more flexibility than anything else. And so what this is saying is this is a time for you to be flexible, be open to doing things differently than you've been doing it, that plans are going to change. And in the uncertainty, you are going to be fine. And maybe this is an alignment for you to do something more aligned with your heart for a while. Not necessarily just your love, what you love to do, but it's lining up your heart with what your spirit's been calling you to do. And you haven't had maybe time or space to do that. So this is about just allowing things to shift and change, especially in this next week, and going with the flow of that. Don't freak out. And just let it be what it's meant to be, and know that it's creating some opportunities that you can't see yet. And those opportunities are going to lead you even more in alignment with your spirit. All right. Hang on. Lisa, hello. I'm not sure you've been here before. So your card, my dear, is the 10 of Hearts. And she is just exhausted. Laying on the water. She's emotionally exhausted. So in this next week, there's something that is just coming to an end. It's the culmination energy, which always then brings in, when one thing ends, another thing begins. So are we focusing on the ending, or are we focusing on the possibility of a new beginning? And so just know that there's going to be a lot of emotional water that's going on for you. So let yourself have that, because when something's ending, we go through a grieving process about that. Even if it's just, I mean, how many people have had, they've been binge watching, Netflix, and their show ends and they're like, what am I going to do without my show? We still grieve that in some ways, It's like we had to say goodbye to these characters that we felt like we were in relationship with, and it's ending. And it may sound silly, but it's like every single thing that we do that has a cycle to it, and most things have a cycle to it, there's an end, a middle, and a beginning. And you are coming to the end of one cycle and the beginning of another. So, goodbyes can be hard. Endings can be hard, because lots of times we put a lot of energy into this task, and it's completing. So let yourself have all that emotional energy that wants to come through. Be very aware if you start to feel exhausted and feeling like you're on the verge already. Maybe it's just overwhelmed, but because we want to be careful about being exhausted and overdoing, because that really compromises our immune system, sweetie. And so to fortify that, it's time to take care of you. Get in a tubby with some Epsom salts, put on music that you love, and take care of you as you're having this ending. And know that the new beginning is just fantastic. I'm seeing some beautiful things that are coming of the beginning. So just know that something better, even better, is coming. Way better. All right. Have a nice night. Jackie, your card is the 5 of Stars. And the 5 of Stars is really, the 5s can be difficult because they're in the middle of the deck. And so they're kind of back and forth. And in this deck, the 5 of Stars is about diversity. Everybody has their own opinions on things and how to do things and what's going to happen and blah, blah, blah. And that's because we're diverse. And so sometimes this means we can butt heads with other people. Sometimes this means that we get, inundated with a bunch of different options and we freeze because we don't know which way to go. All of those things can make it difficult to make decisions and to take action. So remember that as this energy sort of it feels like it's all coming at you from all directions. Shield and protect your energy every day, maybe a few times a day. Check in with your heart space and make sure you're choosing your actions from your heart, because this is the type of energy that we can feel a little like we're getting attacked. And so then we end up reacting and kind of attacking back. And that's not what's being called for. The diverse energy around you will calm down the more grounded and centered you are, because when we choose not to battle, then other people find somewhere else to pick a fight. Right? So hear all the things coming at you. Be aware of them, because knowledge is power in this. But you don't have to listen to any of them. Just listen to you, because you are the most important person in your life. All right. Rhonda. All right. Your card is the Universe card. This is like the 1,000-petal lotus. And this card is you are at the end of a soul contract, a soul's lesson. So imagine you're graduating. You've completed a grade in soul school and you're about to graduate. And as part of that, that it's similar. There's this energy of completion and a lot of relief. And then there's this expansion of your soul growing because now you're stepping up. You're stepping up to the next grade. You're stepping up to the next level. You're ready to take on the next lesson. But we do get this period of time where we get to celebrate all the crap we've been through. I'm sorry, that's the nicest way I can say it. And so you've been through stuff. You've made it through, and you're wiping it all off of you. You're dusting it off and going, whoo, got through this. And you're getting applause from your spiritual team and the universe. And they're like, yes, now you're ready to like expand and be even more you, more Rhonda, even brighter. So give yourself that moment of stepping up on the stage as completed. And lean into all the ways that your soul wants to expand. And, you know, this can be difficult sometimes. Expansion can be uncomfortable. It's kind of like growing pains. That's what ascension is a little bit about, is we're going through some spiritual growing pains, but those are all good things. And if you have physical symptoms related to your ascension, don't be afraid to reach out to me, because I have a number of things that will work for that. Okay. Too many to list right now, but I'll be happy to help. All right. Mary, your card is the 3 of Hearts. Yay. The 3 of Hearts is really the joy card. So this is a week where there's a lot of joy for you. And I feel like glasses being clinked, you know, and toasts being made. It's joyful, which is so nice to hear. With everything going on, it brings my heart joy to be able to tell somebody that their week will be filled with joy. And so lean into that, enjoy life, enjoy what joy wants to come through. I feel gathering energy of friendships, of, you know, we're finding new ways to come together, even though we aren't necessarily together. And maybe some of us are together because we're confined together, and it will help create fuller relationships, more open communication, and all those things are joyful. So spend a lot of time this week laughing, spread the joy, and anytime you feel like that energy wants to shift out of joy, do a quick course correct. You know, what will help you laugh? I mean, because laughter is the fastest way to joy that there is. And so how can you bring more laughter in? Because the joy wants to be expressed big time this week. All right, sweetie, have fun. Brienne. All right, nice to have you, dear. So your card is the ego card. In the original tarot deck, this is the Tower card, if you've heard of that. But it's got a little different flavor in this deck. But you can see how the one building is breaking apart. And, you know, it's kind of like an earthquake. So this is all about that the soul's lesson for you that's going on for a little while, probably for a couple months for sure, is that you're having the part of our soul's growth where our ego needs to collapse. Sometimes it's called the little death. And what that is that we've had our identity, our sense of self has been one thing, and that's not who we truly are. And so that needs to, it no longer fits. We can no longer wear it, and it needs to collapse. And so that can be everything from our sense of self. We identify ourselves as, a mom, and then our kids are grown and they're like, they don't want mothering. And then it's like, well, then who am I if I'm not mom anymore? It can be that, or it can be a lot of people are out of work and they don't have their job right now. And their job was who they thought they were. And now they don't have that. And so they're like, who am I without my job? It may be that. It may have to do with finances. It may, but it's all ways that we have identified ourselves as something or someone, and it no longer fits who you truly are. It's kind of like you've been wearing clothes that are too tight, and they've been uncomfortable, but you didn't know they were too tight. And so they're ripping at the seams. And it's not a bad thing to go up a size, especially in your spirit. So what it's saying is that things have to fall apart to be recreated in a brand new way. And so this is filled with opportunities for you to recreate who you are, and they're all good. Boy, those collapses are hard. I've had this card, the Tower card. I can't even tell you how many times in my lifetime. And usually everything's hitting the fan at the same time. And it can feel like you're going through the ringer. And then you come out the other side and you're like, oh my God, thank God that happened, because my life is so much better without that. But in the moment, it can feel really hard. So I'm honoring how hard it may be feeling, but I'm seeing how much happier and healthier you're going to be on the other side. So lean into that, sweetie, and don't be afraid to reach out to us here on Star Nations for help if you need it. All right, Troy. Hi, Troy. Nice to have you. So you have the Page of Trees. I love this white dove that's flying between the trees. So the pages have this like new, young, innocent energy. And so the Page of Trees is a dreamer. And so it's time for you this week to start creating. What can you dream up? There's all this great new energy. Everything's falling apart, like that ego card said. And so, okay, it all fell apart. Now what do we get to create? Kids, who build the towers and they knock them down and they build them again in a different way and then they knock them down. They're not crying usually, not unless their brother knocks it over. But what can you dream up next? And so the energy right now is like, get out a pen and paper and draw or write or get some really cool brainstorming going, because there's some really wonderful aha moments that want to come in for you. Some really cool inspiration that could help other people, but there's a lot of creative energy that's coming through for you this week. So grab a hold of it, because that can come and go, and it's coming for you. So do it and see what you can come up with, because we need the dreamers. It's how we have hope and inspiration, especially when things seem so chaotic. All right. Thank you, dear. Cindy, another page. So your card is the Page of Trees. And with the Page of Trees, it's all about that innocence. So pages have a lot of that childlike quality. So the energy for you this week is about seeing the perspective of a child. And not carrying any of the baggage that we might have attached to things. So, sometimes we'll say, oh, somebody's so naive. And it's like, no, it's that they're not carrying a wounded heart with them as they're making their decisions, as they're listening to others. And so having that open heart, some people may see it as being innocent and other people will see it as being wise. But the reality is you're not letting your wounds talk for you. You're talking for you. Your soul is talking for you. And you're listening the same way. You're listening without the wounds, without the baggage. So you're moving forward without carrying any of the baggage. And that will create new experiences for you, and see what that looks like, and lean into possibilities that might start to unfold as you choose not to carry the baggage of your wounds with you any longer. Nice. That's great for all of us. Thank you. Kimmy. Nice to have you, sweetie. So your card is the 8 of Trees this week. And the 8 of Trees is, it's all about skill. This week you're being called to do what you're doing because of the skill set that you have. Sometimes we're doing jobs we don't want to do. You know this better than anyone. And it's not quite in alignment, right, with what we think we want to do or how we want to do it. But you're getting called into it because you have the skills to do this job. And you're being honored for the skills that you have and other people don't have. So in that space, it's sometimes difficult to be the one with the skill set. I'm feeling the heaviness and the sadness that you don't want to be the one with the skill set that's needed. But unfortunately, you have it, and it's needed. And it's needed at least for this week. And remember to ground, shield, and protect. Use your immune support stuff on you, on your kids, on your family. And you will be fine. They will be fine. Okay? But we need your skill set right now. And hopefully it's only for the next week. But allow space for you to be in service. And like I said, take all those precautions, and you know how to put on your energy hazmat suit. Put it on your kids. Wear it constantly, because we need you. And thank you. And for those of you who don't know Kimberly, she is a nurse, and we honor, we thank you for all that you guys do in all the different capacities. Thank you. All right, Jackie. I am staying safe. I've been mostly staying put. And I got myself moved to Maine. So my daily ritual is to get in my car and to drive to the beach and roll down the window and let the fresh air kind of ground me and soothe me, but staying away from people as we're meant to. So your heart, you have the 7 of Hearts, my dear. And those hearts can be seen as tears falling, or they can be seen as love flowing in, because this is all about choices. You have choices to make right now, and there's a huge third eye. It's really asking you to use your intuition as you make your choices. If something seems too good to be true, it's because it is. Unfortunately, in this energy, it's how do you choose an alignment with your heart in this next week? And a lot of difficult choices are out there. But if we choose with our heart, then we're not filled with regret. We are filled more with love and determination. And so it's asking you to check in and ask your intuition what's going on and how it's happening, because that's how you will get the best answers as these choices come up. And I'm seeing a whole bunch of them, like 7 of them. So, when we choose with our heart, we don't always choose for money. We don't always choose for fame or for, we choose what's right for our spirit. I hope that helps. All right, Linda, nice to have you here. So your card is the 6 of Stars. I always like how she looks like she should be, a trophy, one of those trophies. So this is the success card in this deck. This is all about things being a success. So I know things have been really unsteady for a lot of us, but what's coming up for you is a win this week. I don't know what that looks like for you. I don't know if that will be money coming in or a shift in your circumstances, but things will be positive, very positive, and you'll be like, phew. So just allow that to be, allow that to fill you up. Sometimes we don't celebrate those successes and celebrate those wins and honor, like, phew, we made this through. We made it through this, and woohoo, we're good. But I'm feeling very much like that for you, like if you're getting tested for the virus, you're not going to have it kind of thing. So yay. Whatever it is, lean into it, enjoy it, and embrace it, because we need things that are bringing in the joy. Thanks, sweetie. All right, Sandy. Hi, dearest. Another 5. So these 5s are tough. The 5 of trees, those 5s are right in the middle of the deck. So they're always, you can see them as positive. You can see them as negative. You're halfway. So your week is all about limitations. No surprise, really. It's not being able to do what you want to do the way you want to do it. Other people putting restrictions on you that you're forced to follow. It's true for a lot of people. So there's a lot of no energy, and boy, our inner child doesn't like no. Don't tell me what I can do kind of energy. So we can either see it as confining, or we can see it as an opportunity to get creative. Charismatic leaders, you tell them no, and they're like, watch me. They find the end around to get around the limitation. They're the ones who find the loophole, right? So look for the loopholes and choose the limitations that are comfortable for you, and the limitations that aren't comfortable for you, see how they can get shifted. You have the creative power to shift them. So I invite you to do that. I'm not sure how you'll do that, but I'm seeing a lot of determination. And you will be able to figure out the way. I'm seeing that very clearly. So don't let people hold you back. All right. Margaret. 9 of Angels. So this is saying to you, your guardian angel has you. He's surrounding you. He's protecting you. He's got his wings wrapped around you. You are safe and protected. And so let that knowing calm you. Calm your fears, calm your worries, anxiety. Just be like, oh, right, my angel is right here, has me, protecting me. I'm good. Everything else may not feel great, but boy, I'm good. And in those moments when you're not good, let that be okay too. Know that you're going to be held and comforted. And you don't have to be the strength. You can lean on your team and your guardian angel in particular to have your back and to help you get through all that's going on. And again, you're surrounded, you're protected, and you're being held. So let that comfort you, and let that soothe you. That's what I'm feeling, soothe you. Okay, nice calm breathing. Let it soothe you. All right, Emily. Your card is another 5. This one is the 5 of Hearts. This one is tough because this one can feel like sorrow. You know, it can be that just all the sadness, you know, and sometimes as the empath, you know, when the planet is just so chaotic, it just fills us with sorrow that for the people who can't find their empathy, who can't find their humanity in some regards. And so it saddens us, and it brings us all this sorrow and this sense of where are we and who are we and how are we, and that can happen on a global perspective. It can happen just in your own home, but it's this questioning, like the divine. Why now? Why me? Why us? Why this? Why that? But in this energy, we can be lamenting, or we can be looking for the why. Why is this happening? Not in a negative way, but in a, all right, something positive is coming out of that. How is that coming in? Am I making room for it? When we shift we allow ourselves to feel all the feels, but as we feel all the feels, we're filling with joy. So it's like you're feeling all this sadness, but you're back filling with joy, so that you feel everything you need to feel, but you allow that unconditional love to flood in. Make sure you're doing a lot of self-care, a lot of self-care, a lot of self-care. Like there's not enough that you can do. You know, if you're taking care of other people for 5 hours, you better take care of you for at least an hour for every 5 that you give to someone else. And it's really more like 2 for every 3 that you give, but that may not be physically possible at the moment, but be striving for that. Okay. Self-care, self-care. All right, Amy. Yours is the 6 of Trees. So in the 6 of Trees, it's that energy of, are you willing to receive? Are you willing to receive help from others? Are you willing to receive help from your spiritual team? Are you trying to do it alone? Do you think nobody can help you? You've got to do this. Are you putting on that brave soldier kind of energy? Or are you letting yourself ask, like, hey, could you do this for me? Or, hey, I need this. And that's not just of people, but our spiritual team, our angels, our guides. They cannot help us if we don't ask. We have 70,000 thoughts going through our mind every day. They don't know which ones we want and which ones we don't if we don't put our attention on it. So ask. There's times where I'm like, guys, I need some help here. I can't do this all alone. I know I'm trying to, but it's not working and I'm about to collapse. So I need help in this way. And ask. Ask and you shall receive. You can't receive without the ask. Okay, so make sure you're doing that. All right, Martina. Yes, Martina. So your card is one of the soul cards. This one is the High Priestess. And the High Priestess card is, this is, you're at, toward the beginning of a new soul's journey right now. And to hold this new journey, you're being invited to hold the High Priestess energy. So that means that you are connected to source, to the divine. You are using your intuition as your compass. You're leading your map for how you are doing things and how you are taking action. A priestess is also somebody that other people look to for guidance in times of difficulty. So people may be coming to you for grounding, for wisdom, for solace. And so in that new leadership kind of energy, you are using your heart and your intuition to guide you. And there'll be a number of times when frustration comes in and you'll think about leading in a different way, but you just take a deep breath and it's like, wait, nope. What does my heart want to say to me about this? What does my intuition want to show me to guide me through this? The divine feminine leaders are coming online hardcore right now. And so sometimes it's carving a new way to lead. But it's a way to lead that's completely heart-centered, and using our intuition, not necessarily our logic brain, okay? And thinking about the whole rather than just ourselves. All right. Glad to see another one. All right, Deborah. Nice. So your card is the Ace of Trees. This is an abundance card. The Ace of Trees is, aces again are gifts from the divine. And this is a gift of usually money of some sort. But, in this day and age, it could be hand sanitizer or toilet paper, because that's worth way more than money right now, right? So there's this abundance energy that's coming into you where you're not going to be feeling that lack energy that's pervading. You're going to be like, woohoo, I've got more than enough for me and I've got enough to share. And, thank you, more please. And just lean into that this week, because the abundant feeling helps us fill our soul, fill ourself of, and really takes us out of that lack energy that's been sort of weaving its way through. We don't have to buy into it. We don't have to be part of it. We can look at our full fridge and go, nah, I'm good. And that's the energy for you this week. So find all the ways that you're abundant and maybe make a list of all the ways that you're abundant. And then that will shift perspective as well. Nice. All right, Judy. Your card is the King of Trees. And the King of Trees, he's very grounded. He is the creator of his own destiny, of his own kingdom. He has the architect kind of energy. And so in this energy for you this week, it's going to be about making plans and how to execute them, leading through this. When other people are like, oh no, what do we do? You're going to be like, this is what we do and this is how we do it. Calmly, decisively, without taking on anybody else's anxiety or worry. And that's, again, even though it's the king has a masculine energy, as the women are stepping in, we are bringing in the feminine flavor to that, which is not saying it's my way or the highway, only my way works. It's like, this is the plan. You get it? So we can all do this together, right? It's creating a plan so that other people feel safe. Like there is a way that you're going. Because the not knowing is just, it's really chaotic for people. It amps up the anxiety to brand new levels right now. So we need some people who are like, oh, this is how we're doing it. And we're like, great, thank you. We just need some safe boundaries and some direction. And that's how you're going to do that this week. So thank you, because that helps lead some other people and helps bring down the vibration of fear, especially in your little neck of the woods. So I appreciate that. All right, Stephanie. Hi, sweetie. All right, I got offered an internship and have to figure out childcare for Ben. Okay. Interesting. So the card that you got was the Empress, the mother card. So what's happening here energetically? So part of your soul's lesson is to step into the mother role in a brand new way. An Empress mother is the commander-in-chief. So you are going to find a beautiful vibrational match for Ben as childcare. And you will see and know that he's going to be taken care of in the way that you would take care of him. And think of it as a leader delegating. You're not turning somebody else into his mother. You're asking someone to be a nurturing presence for him so that he can flourish and you can flourish. Because it's time for you to step into that Empress kind of energy, which is, again, it's a brand new energy for you and it's a brand new role. And this beautiful opportunity is coming to you so that you can shine and so Ben can shine. It's for both of you. And there is this lovely person who has this huge heart, who's coming toward you energetically, to provide the care Ben needs. And it's part of their soul's mission to do that as well. So it all is divinely timed. It's all coming together. So do your best to lean into the right caretaker is arriving momentarily for Ben. And just hold the vision of them walking toward you, because I see it and it's not that far off. And that's meant for you to grow and it's meant for him to grow. because we all need that space, right? And give Ben a hug for me. Mwah. All right. Alyssa, you have the Page of Stars. I love how the stars almost look like a big angel, but they're really kind of like trees, and I don't know. It's got a very cool flavor to it. So the Page of Stars has a lot of curiosity energy. So in this next week, it's, like they say, curiosity killed the cat, right? But actually, no, it doesn't usually kill the cat. Cats are like investigators. We call my one cat Ocelot the scientist, because he's always trying to figure out how things work. He knocks things over and it's like, oh, did that bounce? Did that break? Did that roll? So things that are coming up in this next week, apply that curiosity. Be like, I wonder what can unfold today. And that way we stay out of worry. We get excited to see what could happen. What are the possibilities that could happen? And the page has this really childlike energy. So think about how curious children get when they see something new and they're trying to figure out how it works. That's the energy that you want to embrace this week. It's coming in for you. It's meant to remind you how to have that childlike quality, being curious and trying new things. And in that child energy, that there's no fear, there's no worry, there just isn't. It's like, ooh, look at this. There's a lot of magic involved too. So embrace the magic as well as the curiosity this week. Nice to have you. Cindy Lynn. So yours is the 10 of Trees. And the 10 of Trees is the loyalty card. So in the loyalty card, this is about, we're in our heart center and we stick by people and we stick to ideas because we're loyal to them. And so there's some energy this week on you being tested on what you're willing to be loyal to, who you're willing to be loyal to, and how well other people are loyal to you. And so all of this is going to be testing the heart energy, the heart connection of your connections with other people and with other things. And we're in this time of change. So sometimes when that question of should I be loyal or not any longer, maybe no, it doesn't serve me. This was right for me at one point in time, but it's not right for me now. And then we choose ourselves over the loyalty. So as this is coming up, just know that that's happening for you. It's happening for people around you. And I'm always mindful that when loyalty comes in, if people don't choose loyalty, we can do a lot of judgment and a lot of resentment if we choose to. But do your best to stay in the heart and understand that we want to make our choices from our heart, and we want everyone around us to do that too. Because there's nothing more painful than somebody doing something for you who doesn't really want to do it. They said yes when they meant no, or now they mean no. They meant yes 3 weeks ago, but now they mean no. And there's, begrudgingly doing it, and it's just energy, right? So we don't want their loyalty in that space. We let them go, and we free them of that. Like, it's okay for you to go and say, you don't want to do this, because I can tell, and it's not helpful. right? So look for the ways that's going to happen to you and the ways that you're going to experience that within you. And choose from your heart space and from your intuition. That'll be your best guide, okay? All right. Jacqueline. Hi, dearest. So you have the Queen of Trees. Look at that. Love these queens. So the Queen of Trees, the queen in this instance, think of her as Mother Nature. So your energy this week is about being a nurturing leader. I've said this to a number of different women tonight. So in this space, and men too, actually, in this space, you're being called to be the caretaker, the nurturer, to provide that mama love that people need right now. And in that energy, you know, trees are very grounded. They're very centered, but they're also flexible and they're willing to shift and change as need be. But when you're in the nurturer energy, you're providing this cocoon of love and safety for other people. So as you do that, I encourage you to nurture yourself as well, so you don't get overextended. But just really holding that heart space, because other people need that calming mom energy right now to help them feel safe, because things feel really unsafe right now. And so some of us need to be that grounding force for other people. All right. Oh my goodness, look who's in the house. Bobby, Roberta, hello. I am so happy you are here. You can't even, I'm so thankful you're feeling well, and that you've joined us. And this card is perfect for you. So your card, sweetie, is the 7 of Stars. And this is all about faith. And you know a thing or two about that lately, right, lady? So this week, just have faith that everything is going at the speed it's supposed to, that everything happened for a reason, that everything is unfolding in divine timing, and that it'll all be better than before. And I know that's hard when you've been recovering and things didn't go exactly as planned. But that's how things work, right? With the divine, you know, we plan with our logic brain, and there's something different, a different plan that we don't know. But you're here with us. You're healing. I can feel that. I'm sending you some extra heart energy tonight, to fill that space, to fill that up, and just call in all the joy and all the love that you can stand, because that's going to be what heals you the most, and your faith that the divine will take care of you. And I know you have that in spades, but just keep drawing on it, because that's what will help you get through all of this. Love you and well wishes to you. So Bobby was the last one. I'm going to draw my card for Cooper, because, you know, he deserves one after sitting through all that. So he's definitely in the 6 of Angels. And the 6 of Angels is all about transition. Right? Like, college is being done completely different than it was 2 weeks ago for you, which impacts how you do work study, I'm assuming, and other things. And so stuff's a little up in the air for you right now. But that's okay, because it's transitioning into something new. And it's allowing you some space to do things in a different way. I also think it's going to give you some space to heal. And who knows, you're even getting to see your doctor in a whole new way, right? And that will be fantastic. So let that the wisdom of that come together and have a beautiful rest of your week. So everybody, thank you for being here with me for Soul Connections. This has been lovely for me to be able to be in my purpose, which is to heal the healers. And I do that through this show and through connecting with you. And so hopefully I'll see some of you guys tomorrow night on Chakra Sessions at 7 p.m. And we're going to work on some of this planetary energy that's been impacting us to help us move through it and feel like we are ready for it, right? So with that, guys, have a lovely rest of your night, your weekend, your week, and we will see you here next week on Soul Connections. Bye for now.